Okay, my phone turned off. So this is part 2, a continuation, because I don't think you want me to go through the whole thing all over again. Okay, then what you do is, this is the plate that covers up your blade and everything. This will be off your saw already when you go to do this conversion. And you can see right down here in the hole is where you hook your blade up, and you have to have this off so that you can look down in there and get your blade into the slot to tighten it. This is a two-hand operation. You gotta hold the blade, and you gotta come down here. You have to loosen it, and you gotta put the new blade in, then tighten the nut back up. Okay. Okay, so that's the lower blade holder. Then we come up here. We have the upper blade holder. Sorry, I got the sun. Right here's the upper blade holder. You can see the blade. Comes up into the upper blade holder. And then on this side, I have the nut, or the screw, the bolt, whatever you want to call it, that goes through to lock in and hold it in place. Now, something else I did that you don't want to do, because it's a safety thing, is right here, there's this area. This holds the hold down that comes on the saw. It's got a hold down that comes down, and it sits on the wood. It's a little foot that comes out, and it also has the air blower on it. Well, I took my hold down off because for me it just gets in the way. And the other saw that I got, scroll saw that I bought 30 years ago, didn't even come with one. So, you know, I kind of figured if it didn't come with one, 30 years ago, OSHA just kind of got in there and got their fingers into things and started adding safety devices to everything. Again, don't do what I do. It's up to you for your own safety. Now, what I have to do to change my blade is, right down on the end of the saw is a lever. You have to flip the lever. That releases the tension on the blade. Notice that it sounds different now. Then I take my nut driver, and with the 7mm nut, socket on it, I take my nut driver and I can loosen my blade, and that releases all the pressure off the arm, and the blade is now free, so that I can take and put it through the hole for an inside cut, or change the blade out by loosening the one down here on the bottom. And then after I'm done, I have to feed it back in. I have to hold this down, feed the blade back in the slot right here. Then I have to use the socket, the nut driver, to tighten this back up. And then after I get all that done, then I have to come back up here and readjust the tension on my blade. Now, I'm not going to be able to do that in this video because it takes two hands to do it, but that is how I converted my saw over to take pinless blades. And then another thing also that I did, which again, don't do, this is the port for the dust collection. I just put some blue painter's tape over it because I sit right up next to it. I don't have any dust collection because I work outside and the wind is my dust collection. And I got tired of it blowing sawdust onto my lap and onto my pants continually. And this does produce quite a bit of sawdust. And another thing I forgot to mention at the beginning is when you go to do any work on your saw, make sure it's unplugged. My saw is unplugged. Right down there is my foot control. It's not plugged in. I use a foot pedal that came with my saw when I bought it. And again, this is the Win 16-inch variable speed. I forget the model number on it right offhand. Otherwise, I would tell you it, but it's the Win variable speed 16-inch. Now again, these adapters are from Win product. They're the upper and lower blade adapter holders. They're for the Win 3920 scroll saw. Part number is 39208 031, and you're going to need 2 of them, and they run about $5 a piece. As far as I'm concerned, they're the best $10 investment I made for this saw. And a lot of people are going to knock this saw because it is a budget-rated entry-level saw. But I'll tell you what, it's the best scroll saw that I've had. It beats the 13-inch Harbor Freight one that I had for the last 30 years. And it was a single-speed pin only. This takes pins and pinless. Would I have a DeWalt or a Pegasus or one of the other fancy ones if I could afford it? Sure, I would. But I can't afford it. I'm on a very limited budget right now because I'm disabled and my wife is only working part-time. And as a matter of fact, my wife actually saved up the money to buy this saw for me for our 38th anniversary gift last May. She said that I was hinting around about needing a new saw because my 13-inch one wasn't working properly. So she saved up the money for a couple of months. And I mean, it was only like $140 with tax and everything. But you know, she saved up for it. So as far as I'm concerned, this is better than any of those fancy saws that you can buy because my wife thought enough about me to buy it for me. Well, enough about my personal stuff. Again, this is the Win 16-inch variable speed. Right down here is the knob that you can use to control the speed. I just set it and forget it. I found a speed that I like that works for me, and I can control the wood easily and everything. So that's what I do, is I just found the speed that I like, the blades that I liked, and I leave it there. I'm sorry that I've had to make this into a 2-part video. Again, this is Chris from CW62. I hope you all have a blessed day. You take care. God bless you. Blessings to you and your family.